We did it, everyone! We did it, boys! We got into that stage with another MMO where it is completely the same as all the others. Everyone thought New World was going to be different, but no. We're about at the same place as we've been with, you know, every other MMORPG that's been out in the last 5 to 10 years. If you guys haven't seen the news, New World, the Amazon Game Studios' first, hopefully successful game, has been demolished by Microtransactions. Who saw that coming? Now, if anyone doesn't know about New Worlds, it was Amazon Studios', I guess, first game. It was never meant to be that. I mean, they had Crucible, which was supposed to be their Overwatch competitor. They had that other one that was supposed to be like another esports one. Both of them failed. I've made videos on them in the past. I'm not going to go over them today, but Amazon Game Studios have put so much money behind the work that they've been doing and having the best talent and the best developers that they possibly can, and they've ended up in the ditch once again. But New World was going to be different. New World was going to be something special, taking players into this fantasy MMORPG, picking their characters and going throughout the world and being a breath of fresh air for a genre that, let's be honest, hasn't had the most successful time throughout the last few years. You've had games like Chronicles of Illyria that have been complete shambles. You've had Dream World that has done the same, which seems to be turning up to be a bit of a shambles as well. So the MMORPG hasn't exactly done that great for itself. And Amazon Game Studios thought that they could come in and change it all, and I was hoping for the best. Now, if I'm going to be honest, the last few months I've really come to terms with the fact that I actually am not the biggest fan of MMOs. I thought I was. You know, a game like Myth of Empires, when I played that, I was like, that looks amazing. You know, you can build your own cities with your friends, you can group together and go to war, and then I actually played and I was like, I actually just don't care. But there have been MMOs in the past that I've had some fun with. One being Life is Feudal Your Own. Not the Life is Feudal MMO, but the first one was actually kind of fun if you really got into it. But once again, they went down that grindy route. However, New World looks special. From the gameplay and the alphas that we've seen, it looked like it was trying to do something different, trying to take away the grind and be something that focused on fun, which is something that a lot of people and MMO developers don't seem to like to look into. They want to go with full realism, living this new world, and fun is almost a second rate. But I genuinely was looking forward to New World. But then we got this post here by the official New World Twitter on the 15th of May, and it read like this.
Some questions have come up recently from our alpha patch notes discussing an in-game storefront. Our plan of having a store is to create an outlet for players who find enough value in store items that they are happy to purchase them. Our plan is not and never will be to create a feeling that store items are necessary to enjoy the game. All players will be able to play the full game experience we ship without having to make store purchases.
Well, straight away, it's coming out and they're being quite transparent with this. And on the front, it looks alright, okay? They are admitting that they do want to have a storefront in the game, and that's where the red flags start to come in. However, this first stanza is telling us that, yeah, they want to put some sort of store items in, but only if the players are happy to purchase them. They don't want these items to be necessary towards the gameplay experience, but they do want them in the game anyway. So let's read on, shall we?
All store items at launch will be exclusively cosmetic in nature. We are introducing the storefront in alpha in order to test these items and their value.
Alpha testing microtransactions. Well, that's something new that I have never seen before.
No selections in the store or their indicated cost is final. Our purpose is quality assurance and gathering player feedback, so please share your thoughts once the system is introduced. The testing audience will see each type of item that we're considering and have an opportunity to provide feedback before they're introduced to the live game.
Once again, they're going at it very tippy-toey. They're sort of trying to push you and ease you into, well, what's inevitably about to come next, so this is where it gets juicy.
Looking towards the future, we will also test ideas on how to offer players quality of life items for mechanics like rested XP and fast travel, both obtainable in-game and purchasable in the store.
Right, so this is where it starts to get a little bit on the juicy side. They've already said that their items will be exclusively cosmetic in nature, but then they've said that they're also thinking of ideas of making XP microtransactions and fast travel. Now, fast travel is one of those things that in an MMO, an open world MMO like this, is incredibly vital to your gameplay. You don't want to be spending hours running across the landscape. You want to be able to just go from one place to another. And fast traveling is how you do that. And this can be devastating if people can pay to fast travel, because this means that one person will be able to get to one location way faster than another person just because they paid some money towards it. And why is this devastating? Well, MMOs have different missions like timed events. Sometimes you'll have these exclusive events in MMOs like this that have short windows that players have to complete them. I'm not granting and confirming that that's what's in this game, but if there's anything like that, fast travel microtransactions do inherently change how the game is played, and they give anyone that has paid money a massive advantage upon anyone that hasn't. But let's carry on, because it can't go worse than this, surely.
The timing of the release for these items will depend on how the players progress in months after launch. The more players who are able to experience all of our exciting endgame content and game modes, the healthier the overall game experience will be for all players. Our goal with all the items of any type is that they're not offering an advantage that imbalances the game.
Well, I've already explained how their previous paragraph completely works against that.
We understand that this line is player-based interpretation.
You got that right. You got that right. If you interpret it as, you know, it is.
So we ask for your patience while we test the alpha and listen to your feedback. For transparency on future plans, we are also contemplating but have not finalised a battle pass system. This will combine store items on a periodic basis. This will also be tested ahead of time to ensure that it provides strong value without disrupting gameplay for those not participating. Much further along, there are also possibilities of optimal expansions which will have a separate cost.
And here you can see where the main issues are lying, and you can see why there is such a backlash from the New World fan base. I, for one, who have been watching it from the side, and I've been kind of interested, but I'm not a massive MMO fan. But seeing the people that love these types of games, I want to shout out to a couple of channels. Kira TV, who talks about a lot of this sort of stuff. Josh Strife Hayes as well, who makes fantastic MMO videos. These are the communities that this really affects. The fan base for these MMORPGs, and honestly, I genuinely am sad about it, because it takes a genre that has already been hit so many times in the past with false advertising, scams, and floods of microtransactions. If there was a single genre that it was most apparent in that I've seen, MMOs have got to be up there. And this just takes it to the next level. I mean, there's been comments saying, sorry, but putting XP boosters into a PvP-centric game is pay to win, and I was looking forward to trying your game, but not anymore, as it won't be a purchase for me. I agree with that. Putting in XP boosters does go against everything that this post says. They've said they don't want to give players who pay for stuff an advantage over players that don't, but XP boosters does that. And New World replies saying,
the item content available in the shop in the alpha is a test for us, and we welcome any feedback about the in-game shop.
So basically is what they're saying is, yeah, it is, but, you know, we'll see how many people get angry when it officially comes out. There are comments defending it, saying that microtransactions are necessary for a business to succeed, that businesses need money. And I completely understand that game development is a massive task. It takes thousands, if not millions of dollars, and especially for an MMO, tens of millions of dollars. This game is $50. I'm not joking. Pre-ordering this game on Steam is $50. That is the price of a AAA game. And saying that a AAA game needs microtransactions in order to operate their company is nonsense. Especially a company like Amazon. There are a lot of leeways for cosmetic microtransactions, and in some cases I think it's very much on a spectrum, where you have smaller games that have cosmetic microtransactions in order to help the development, that have maybe 50p, £1, £2 for some cosmetic stuff. And whilst I would say personally I think there's more of like a full stop saying microtransactions just aren't necessary at all, especially for a paid game, there's definitely some leeway that can be given. But cosmetic microtransactions in a game this big is just not necessary. I mean, Asmongold put it perfectly. He put a massive twit longer and a lot of focusing on the cosmetic microtransactions, which I think he put really well. What do you think more people are going to buy? An armored horse or a flying armored horse with golden wings that has rainbow sparkles that glow when it's moving? Cosmetic shops provide a profit incentive for companies to paywall the best designs and cosmetics behind the shop because they'll generate the most sales. I don't know how many games I've seen that have bland, boring items that are available in-game and super cool and awesome looking items that are available for real money. And it's right. Game developers, if they can see that they can sell cosmetic items, will put all the development and time into the stuff that they can shill extra money for. So why would you be paying $50 for getting the basis of a game? What happened to buying a game and getting a game? Now you buy a game and you get the opportunity to buy more of the game. That is literally all this is. And if you think of it more on a social basis, Asmongold says this: video games used to serve as an equalizer. It didn't matter how tall you were, how much money you had, who your parents were, you were all equal. The items and accomplishments you achieve inside that world were a result of you. This form of empowerment was instrumental into building self-esteem of many people who didn't have the ability to do so in real life. And that's not true anymore. If you have more money in real life, you'll look better in the game. The richer your parents are, the more guns and weaponry you can buy within games now. And it looks like that's just the future it was gonna be. New World was supposed to be something different, and maybe it's very naive to think that, but it was a new upcoming MMORPG that looked like it had some issues, but it also had promise and hope. And yeah, Amazon Game Studios, you tried to be something different. You tried to be a new game developer that came out and did something, but your first 2 games failed. Everyone was waiting for New World to be your first proper release, and people were behind it and hoping to do it well, but I don't think that's the case anymore. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about microtransactions in games like this, especially testing it in the alpha? What are your opinions on cosmetic microtransactions? Me personally, I don't really think there's many point for them whatsoever, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that have different opinions on that. So please leave your comments down below. But leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't. But until then, I will see you in the next one.